for more munitions to bomb the Houthis and protect Israel. There's always money to ship to Ukraine. And there's never any interest in actually delivering for us here at home. At the same time, as I was mentioning, the lawmakers who are just, totally invested in this direction, with only a few very notable and, brave dissenters at this point, we have yet another push for some sort of codifying anti-Semitism censorship bill. This one coming directly from Hakeem Jeffries, who, of course, the leader of the Democrats in the House. He's calling for passage of the, quote, Countering Anti-Semitism Act. And Michael Tracy, who does such a great job of digging into these bills and highlighting what they mean, he says this bill would create a new national coordinator to counter anti-Semitism within the executive office of the president to, among other things, quote, counter the spread of anti-Semitism online, i.e., he says, government coerced censorship, including to impose, and this is the language from the bill, accountability for individuals. So Hakeem Jeffries, who I'm sure has probably blanket support among the Republicans in the House as well, and overwhelming majority support from the Democrats, looking to once again take further steps to directly codify censorship when it comes to their definition of quote unquote anti-Semitism. And we already know, Sagar, because we've covered the definition that they're using here, it effectively bans criticism of the Israeli government and smears those who would be critical as being anti-Semites.
Yeah, scary stuff, very scary, especially whenever you combine it, with what's happening. Let's go to the next part, because what we see here, and this was surprising, it says for the first time since 1972, the NDAA would automatically register all males age 18 to 26 for selective service in the military. So for the past 52 years, you're actually required to register on your own, but compliance reportedly had been lagging in terms of selective service. They're switching it to automatic registration, presumably after significant pressure from the military. You read into that what you will. I'm not going to say it's some grand conspiracy or whatever, but we start to get a little nervous anytime we start to see things like this and be like, hey, what's going on? Why? And I can tell you why, which is that enlistment right now is at an all-time low in the U.S. military. Young people do not want to enlist. They do not agree either with foreign policy, or they think the incentives are not even close to where they were, or, and honestly, this is sad, but most people are just way too fat to join the military and not physically fit. So you have a combination. It's like a poly crisis. And it's not me saying this. You can ask any individual service and look at their reports to Congress about enlistment. What do? Well, you start to put pressure for selective service. And let's just say the last time that we saw this in the 1960s, it didn't go so well. We'll see how it works out.
You'll love this. It was a Democrat who was sort of leading this charge to get this into the NDAA. And by the way, there isn't the expectation is that the Senate has other issues with the NDAA, not necessarily this one, but there's an expectation they're not going to take up this bill, just to be clear. But you'll love this. Democrat who is pushing this uses social justice language to justify it. She says this will allow us to rededicate resources, basically that means money, towards readiness and mobilization, rather than towards education and advertising campaigns driven to register people. And she says it will ensure any future military draft is fair and equitable.